do this, do that.
There you are. And it's all done. Oh, dear, now.
Ariette,
Yes, Mother?
hurry up with that potato.
I didn't want a whole one.
Well, you didn't say.
It'll be ruined once I've cut a slice. You can't roll it back in all that dust.
Oh, what does it matter? There's plenty more.
Plenty more. Your father risked his life for this potato.
I mean, there's plenty more in the story.
I thought I heard him. He's late.
But he'll be all right.
Yes. Yes, of course he will. Put some more coal on the fire, there's a good girl. I hope your father hasn't been climbing any curtains.
I could climb a curtain.
Don't be silly. Shouldn't be climbing anything, not at his age.
I'm not being silly, I could. I could go borrowing.
You don't know what you're saying. You have no idea what it's like upstairs, and thank goodness you don't. Pod.
Hello, Beauty.
You're back then.
Yes? Has your mother been worrying again?
I always worry.
There's no need, you know. I do know what I'm doing. Most of the time.
What's that tear in your jacket?
Nothing, it's just, it got caught in a piece of pipe. It's nothing.
Where? What happened?
What have you borrowed?
There's something you're not telling me.
Oh, it looks so heavy.
It is heavy. Look, it's nothing. I'm fine.
I knew there was something. I had a feeling. One of those that starts at the knees and starts moving up until...
There.
Oh, Pod.
It's wonderful.
I said I'd get you a watch for your birthday, didn't I?
Yes, I know. But I didn't think, I mean... I don't know what to say.
Do you know where it was? It was wedged down behind the waste pipe in Aunt Sophie's bathroom. It must have been there for months.
It's beautiful. It's not even my birthday.
Oh, fair enough. I'll take it back, shall I?
No, it will be soon.
Yes, I'm just getting your present a little early, that's all. Now, where do you want it? Over here?
No, there.
There?
Well, maybe a bit to the left. It looks a bit low now, come to look at it.
Well, just a minute.
What do you think, Ariette?
I think it looks wonderful everywhere.
You don't think it's hidden by that pipe?
No, because if you sit on this chair here, you can see it perfectly. Look.
Yes, that's true. Oh, I don't know.
No, you just carry on. I'm fine. It's not heavy at all.
Oh, sorry, that's fine.
Ariette, hammer and nails.
Perhaps it would have been better further on. No, it's fine, really. Couldn't be better. Lovely.
A clock for the clock family.
Even the overmantels didn't have a clock. Not for all their fancy ways and airs and graces. Nor did the harpsichords come to that.
Harpsichords, where did they live?
In the harpsichord.
She means where in the house. They were in the morning room. Them upstairs couldn't play a note, so the Borrows were able to live inside, you see. Oh, stuck up lot, those harpsichords.
Are they still living in it?
No, moved away. As soon as Aunt Sophie took to her bed. You see, upstairs had no call to use the room after that, so there was no pickings for the harpsichords anymore. Mrs. Driver and the gardener stick to the kitchen.
So they had to emigrate.
Like Uncle Hendry and Aunt Loopy.
Yes, that's right.
And Cousin Eggletina.
Poor Eggletina.
Why? What did happen to her?
Well,
Soup!
Asked again about Eggletina. What did happen to her?
well, she's growing up fast, isn't she?
Yes, I know.
She can read and write, you know. Learned all that from the books I borrowed for her.
You would too if you hadn't had to start borrowing so young.
Well, this is maybe... She asks so many questions nowadays.
I can't answer most of them, Pod. And the ones I can, I don't want to. It's up to you to tell her about upstairs, Pod.
I will, you know I will. Just have to choose my moment, that's all. There. That's it. Ariete.
Are these all the matches?
Well, yes. Ariete. Last night you asked a question about why Uncle Hendriri and Aunt Lupi and the cousins had left the house.
Yes.
Well, it was because your uncle had been seen.
Seen?
On the drawing room mantelpiece.
Well, who saw him?
The kitchen maid. She dusted him thinking he was an ornament. Upstairs is full of them. He was standing next to Cupid and he sneezed. Go on, climb the stairs.
So then what happened?
She went berserk. Historical! We heard the screech from down here. She was never the same after that. Homily, I was just saying how a human being never lets it go once a borrower gets seen.
That's right. Look everywhere they do. Floorboards go up, traps are set.
Oh, and worse.
Are we the only family left in the house then?
Yes, we are now. Mrs. Driver again.
Clumsy great thing. Just when I've swept the floor, it's too bad. It really is. Ariete, finish clearing that table.
Where did Uncle Hendriri and Aunt Lupi go?
They were heading for an abandoned badger's set.
On the other side of the world.
A couple of fields away, somewhere beyond Parkins Wood.
And Eggletina? Why won't you tell me what happened to her?
Questions, always questions.
Well, why won't you?
Oh, you're too young.
No, I'm not. Tell me! Sorry.
Now, look what you've done.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, if you'd been concentrating instead of asking all those silly questions.
It was an accident.
The cup broke itself, did it?
I said I was sorry.
Cups are hard enough to come by without your clumsy carelessness.
I said I was sorry. What more do you want?
I said that's enough! Homily, keep calm.
I'm perfectly calm.
I can see. Stop worrying about the blimmin' cup! I'll go straight up to the nursery and borrow another one. You've got to be more patient. Don't be so hard on your mother. She only gets like that because she loves you, you know.
I'm sorry about the cup.
All right. Yeah, dry your eyes. Read your book. She's a good girl.
What is it?
I've been seen
Where were you?
in the nursery.
In the nursery? But there's no one in... There's no one in the nursery, is there?
A boy.
Oh, no, not a boy.
There's no worse human being than a boy.
Why did you go?
Oh, no, don't start. It's all right. It's all right.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
But we're not going to emigrate, are we? Not when I've just got the house so nice.
I tripped, dropped the cup, and he caught it. He watched me climb down, gave it to me. Here you are, he said.
He spoke to you?
Yes, he did. Now maybe, only maybe, mind, he won't tell anyone. We'll know soon enough if he does. And I've heard it said boys are not always believed. So if we lie low, wait and see what happens, maybe, just maybe, we can stay.
Lie low, you mean no more borrowing?
Yes, well, we've got enough to live on for a week.
How long's he here for?
I didn't ask him. There wasn't much time to be social.
Shouldn't we tell Arrietty?
Not yet. Wait. And see what happens.
Yes. Wait and see what happens.
Oh. You all right?
Fine, yes.
No, you're not. There's something bothering you.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. You've been acting very strangely lately. Not like your old self at all.
I am.
Come on, what's the matter?
Nothing. Look, there's a blackbird.
Yes.
And all the trees. I know you're a wonderful borrower. And I know that we've managed to stay when everyone else has gone. But why do we stay? What's it done for us? We're alone in this great, big, half-empty house, with no one else to talk to, and nothing to see but dust and passages, firelight, candlelight. I want to run in the grass. I want to lie in the sun. And I want to play in the trees like birds do.
So did Eglantine. She went outside. But she didn't know that Uncle Henry had been seen. And that because of that, upstairs had got a cat.
A cat? Poor Eglantine. It doesn't make any difference. It won't change how I feel. I want to go outside.
Oh dear, that's the last of the fish bones, isn't it? You know, it's been long enough and nothing's happened. I think that boy went off without telling anyone he saw me.
And we haven't heard a cat.
No. Homily, just suppose there was...
You went borrowing again?
Well, yes, I've got to do that. No, that's not what I was going to say. If we'd had a boy, well, I'd be teaching him to borrow now, wouldn't I? Just like my father taught me.
Yes, you would, but we've got Arietti.
Yes, I know. Homily, have you ever thought what would happen to her? Well, to both of you, if I couldn't go on borrowing anymore.
Oh, don't even think of such a thing.
But it will happen, Homily, one day. Won't it? That's why I've got to teach Arietti to borrow.
8 days now since Father's been borrowing. Why has he stopped?
Blancmange! Whoever heard of such a thing? And who does she think she is, expecting me to fetch and carry like some scullery maid? It's not my place to run errands.
No, that's right. No, that's how it is with Aunt Sophie. I bet be getting the chickens in.
I should have put in my notice last May, I should.
Mrs. Driver's gone out.
It's still too much of a risk, Pod.
Arietti's got to start one day. Now's as good a time as any.
Start what?
Arietti, take your apron off and get out of those heavy shoes. We need light shoes for borrowing.
Borrowing?
Just see how you get on, eh?
Oh, thank you.
Better be the kitchen.
Yes, but not for too long. My nerves can't stand it.
You worry too much.
I know. And now I'll worry twice as much.
Well, she'll be perfectly safe with me. Now, what do you need?
Well, that brush is very worn. Pod, are you sure?
Quite sure. Fibres from the doormat. What else?
Sugar and fish bones and pins and tea leaves and currants and breadcrumbs and... Oh, and we need some more coal and the matches are getting low and... Only if you get the chance. If it's no bother.
Ready?
Right. On with your borrowing bag.
That's it. Nice and tight. And I'll bring a spare.
Why a spare?
Oh, in case we find something extra and the main bag's full.
Now you do what your father tells you to.
Yes.
And don't go off by yourself.
I won't.
We'll see that you don't.
I won't. I just...
Take care.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You don't take your eyes off her.
Don't worry.
Good luck.
This reminds me of the first time I went borrowing. My father took me. Grandpa was bought. He could borrow anything. Oh, anything he could move, and there wasn't much he couldn't. He was so strong, he could lift a serving spoon. Now, always keep this gate open, right? Because you never know when you might want to get home again in a hurry. You all right? Nervous? Well, first time. It's only natural. Stick with me, you'll be all right. Come on.
Our clock.
Yes, it is. There's everything you need up here. It's like a sort of outpost, really. Grappling irons, javelins, tools, ropes, more borrowing bags, everything.
It's so big.
Yes. And that is the pendulum. And that other thing is the weight. We're as safe as houses in here.
Suppose they moved the clock.
They never move clocks like this. They go wrong if you move them. Well, you first. Ready? Now watch me.
Hurts your hands, doesn't it?
Just to begin with. Pull at the loose ones first. Look, you leave it to me. Go and sit by the door and keep a lookout.
But I want to be a real borrower.
You will be one day. I can do this on my own, really. Go on.
my ankle.
I twisted your ankle?
Yes, you clumsy great boy.
I'm sorry.
So you should be. Ow.
Does it hurt?
Yes, thank you very much.
Can you walk on it?
Of course I can.
Keep away. You're the second one I've seen.
Second one? Who was the first?
An old man. He came into the nursery. I helped him get a cup from the doll's house.
That was my father. He's not old. He didn't tell me he'd seen a boy.
How old are you?
Older than you.
You're so small.
I'm still growing.
So am I. I'm going to be 6 feet tall when I'm older.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Arrietty.
others like you?
None. We're all different.
I mean so small.
Small? Oh, I see. You think you're normal size.
Well, of course I am. There's more of my size than of yours.
Don't be ridiculous. Can you imagine a world like that? My father's seen how much your sort eat. Great, steaming mountains of food. If there were lots of you, there wouldn't be enough food to go around. And that's probably why you're dying out.
Who's dying out?
Human beings. But don't worry. My father says we only need a few of you to borrow from.
Borrow what?
Everything we need.
That's not borrowing. That's stealing.
No, it isn't. It's what you're there for. Human beings are for borrowers, like bread is for butter.
No, we're not. There's millions of us. You're the ones that are dying out.
Nonsense.
I can prove it. Can you read?
Of course I can.
If I went and got a book about the whole world, you'd see.
Don't believe you.
Harrietty! For goodness sake, where are you?
All right. How many borrowers do you know? You don't know any.
Yes, I do. There's Mother and Father, Uncle Henry, Aunt Loopy, and my cousins.
Are they in the house?
No, but my parents are.
Where are the others? You've no idea, have you? I bet they're dead. One day you'll be the last borrower in the whole world because you're the youngest.
They're not dead. They live in a badger set in the field beyond Parkins Wood.
Bet you've never seen them there, though, have you?
Well, of course not. It's the other side of the world.
No, it's not. I could run there in a few minutes.
I'm going home.
Don't go. I'm sorry. Didn't mean it. I'll go and try and find your uncle and aunt. Maybe I could take a letter from you and post it down the hole.
Would you?
Whereabouts in the house do you live?
I'll leave it under the front doormat.
Shall I get that book?
If you like.
Harrietty! There you are. What are you doing out here? Suppose Mrs. Driver had come back and you'd been shut out.
Sorry.
Well, it wouldn't be any good being sorry then, would it? Now listen, if you want to go borrowing again, there are certain rules that must be kept. Now come on, it's time we were back indoors again. What's the matter with your foot? Have you hurt yourself?
Nothing, I just tripped.
Now, you see what happens when you go off on your own like this. Supposing you got hurt worse and you got stuck out here.
I didn't get stuck.
Well, what did you see? What was it like?
Well, I saw the clock, and I saw the borrowing room, and I saw the hall, and I saw the most enormous fireplace, and this great big mantelpiece.
That's where the Overmantles lived. They were no loss, I can tell you.
Oh, and Mother, the garden. The sun was so bright you could hardly believe it.
Hurts your eyes when you first see
Yes,
it, doesn't
it
it?
does.
I've got plenty of stuff to make brushes.
Anything else?
Oh, no, there just wasn't time. Besides, I had one of my feelings. A really bad one.
Perhaps it was a false alarm.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if Father felt something, there must have been a reason for it.
Dear Uncle Henry and Aunt Loopy, I hope you and my cousins are well. We are well, and Father is teaching me to borrow. Your loving niece, Arrietty. Write a letter on the back of this. Please.
Is this the last of the nibs?
No, there's one here. Oh, it's rusty.
Well, why don't we go and borrow some more?
I can't think we can use this cork pot. It smells awful.
Okay. Keep the rats away.
Pod.
Yeah, that was my...
Oh, stop it.
No, cut up small, though. It would do for the fire. I didn't know we had these. I can't even remember when I borrowed them.
What do they do when we've borrowed something?
Well, they miss it, of course.
Get another one. 3 safety pins.
Suppose they didn't get another one.
Another what?
Another anything. What would we do if they didn't? What would we do if they weren't here?
You do say the silliest things.
If they weren't there, we wouldn't be here, would we?
Well, then where would we be?
Somewhere else.
With other human beings to borrow from.
Of course. I've told you often enough. That's what they're there for. Human beings are for borrowers, what bread is for butter.
Yes, I know that. But if we weren't here...
Oh,
they weren't-
Ariette, concentrate. Stop dragging that wool around.
What you writing?
Nothing.
Oh. Must be something. I can see the words.
It's just about you taking me borrowing.
Where does it say that?
There.
Well, read what it says.
Why?
Because I'm interested. Not every father has a daughter can read and write. Go on.
All right, then. Father took me borrowing for the first time. Went outside. It was very sunny and the flowers were nice.
It's good. You're a clever girl, Ariette.
Pod, look at the state of this. I know it's a curtain and chair job, but it wouldn't take long.
What wouldn't?
To get a new piece of carpet.
Oh, I can't see anything wrong with this one.
How can you say that? To look at this, anyone would think we lived in a badger set. Now, I'm not house-proud, Pod, but a new piece of blotting paper would make all the difference.
Would it?
You know it would.
Ariette, borrowing shoes.
If it's no bother.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
The morning room's more or less safe when it's been dusted. So's the drawing room, come to that. But we've got no call to go in there.
Why?
There's nothing in there we need. It's got a glass cabinet in it full of snuff boxes, shepherdesses, and a silver violin. Well, you can't eat a silver violin, can you? Ready? Now remember, we look, we listen, and then...
We move.
All clear. I said stay close to me.
Sorry.
Right, now stand back. A nice smooth swing, yes? And then you let the rope carry it through, see? And then
Make sure it's secure.
that's enough.
Father! Father!
What? What is it?
I was just going to say, be careful.
Fine. Thanks. Mind your head. There. One day you'll be able to do that.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. That's high, that desk. You've got to know what you're doing. Right, come on. Right, let's be off. Quick, this way!
I will. I don't know what she says. If he goes on making more trouble for me with his mischief.
I reckon Zoe's got a ferret. He's always snooping around the garden looking for something.
It was a big mistake taking that boy into this house. Always trouble, the boys.
They like ferrets, they do.
3 days running, he's had the mats up in this hall. You can see from the marks on the... I put that straight this morning and now look at it. There, you wait till I find him. He'll be in trouble when I get my hands on it. Mr. Crampfell, mind your feet. I don't want half the garden trodden all over the house. Thank you very much.
Dear me, no. Sorry about that.
Perhaps you'd like to join me later in the kitchen for a glass of Madeira. She's got that much in the cellar, she wouldn't know what to do with it.
Very nice, too. Shame to waste it. That...
Uncle? Are you there? Uncle? I brought this letter for you. See? Please be there.
you been doing?
Nothing.
You've been up to no good again, I'm sure. What do you mean by throwing all my doormats around the house? Don't you dare answer me back. It's bad enough not being consulted about your being here. She never gives a thought for all the extra work it makes for me, without having to put up with your cheek as well.
I wasn't being cheeky, really. It wasn't my dear to come here.
You're hiding something from me, aren't you?
No,
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
What is it?
Nothing.
You're lying. I can see it in your eyes. It's a ferret, isn't it? I knew it! A ferret. Vermin running all over the house. Well, I won't put up with it, you understand. You get back in there and you get rid of it, and then you stay in your room until I say you can come out. Now, go on!
It's been 5 days. Haven't seen the boy. Has he delivered the letter? Perhaps the Andrearys aren't there anymore. Maybe we're the last. I've got to know.
Who's there?
It's me.
Who's me?
Me, Arietti.
Arietti who?
Arietti Clock, down here.
How'd you get into my room?
I flew.
Very funny. Do you live up here?
Maybe.
Whereabouts?
Here and there.
When I bought that book, you'd gone.
I had to.
Why?
My father called me.
Mm.
Did you take the letter?
Yes, and I brought it back again the next day.
You did?
And there's a message from your uncle on it.
Show me. We'll drop it then.
Will you tell me where you live?
No. Now give me the letter.
I won't tell anyone else. I promise I won't.
It's mine. Give it to me.
I can keep a secret. I haven't said anything about seeing you to anyone.
Give it to me! We are well. Yours fatfully, UH. UH? Oh, Uncle Hendreary.
What's yours fatfully mean?
I think it means I have plenty to eat.
Do you?
Well, most of the time. But when Mrs. Driver makes cakes and things, smell comes down through the floorboards and it makes me very hungry.
Yes, it must.
Arietti!
Father.
In there, my girl. Go for that bag.
Please, can't we talk about this?
Oh, we're going to talk about it, all right.
I was going to tell you.
It's easy saying going to, it's easy saying that now.
What is? Arietti, why are you out of bed?
Your daughter's been upstairs.
Upstairs?
In the nursery. The boy's still here. She's been talking to him.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
How could you?
It's all right, it really is. Look,
What's that?
it's a letter I wrote to Uncle Hendreary. The boy delivered it for me.
Human beings delivering letters, whatever next. How could you go and talk to him?
I didn't go and talk to him. I was seen by him. I couldn't help it. I know I should have told you. I just didn't want you getting all upset about it. Anyway, you knew about him already, didn't you? And you didn't tell me, did you? He said we were a dying race. So I just had to find out if Uncle Hendreary and Aunt Lupe and the cousins were still alive. And they are. Because he wrote back. Look. We are well. Yours fatfully, UH.
Faithfully, yours faithfully.
Oh, I see. Well, he can't spell.
Well, that's not the point.
I'm trying to save us.
Strikes me as you're trying to finish us off.
But don't you see? I got in touch with Uncle Hendreary and Aunt Lupe so we can all stick together.
Oh, what are they supposed to do? Come back here?
Or do you want us to go live with them? Out in the open with no hot water laid on?
But if we went...
Wait. The fact is, you told a human being where we live.
I haven't. I wouldn't.
You have. I heard you. She said about Mrs. Driver's cooking, how the smell coming down through the floorboards made her hungry. He's only got to put two and two together, hasn't he?
Oh, Arietti.
What you've done has never been done before. Never. In all our long history. Borrowers have been seen. Borrowers might even have been caught. But no borrower has ever told a human being where they live.
I didn't mean to.
I know you didn't mean to. But if you hadn't talked to him, and you didn't have to, we wouldn't be in the terrible danger we're in now.
Oh, don't frighten her.
It's the truth, and she's old enough for that. And besides, it's not just us. She told him where the Hendrearys are. It only takes a trained dog, and they're done for.
Arietti, how could you?
He's just a boy.
He's a human being.
But he hasn't done anything to us.
No, because he didn't know where we are.
Well, I don't think human beings are as bad as you make them out to me.
They're good and they're bad. You just don't know. And you can never trust them. So I'm telling you, my girl, from now on, you steer clear of them. Not just this one. All of them!
What are we going to do now?
I don't know. Probably have to leave.
They're frightened. Really frightened. Even Father. Why?
What is it?
It's a screwdriver. Keep away from it, Amelie. Henriette, over here. Quick.
Why did she do that?
What do you think?
Oh, sorry. Is that one your mother?
It's the boy.
Yes.
Could we have our ceiling back, please?
And that one's your father, isn't it?
He. We're not it.
Put it back at once.
I've bought you something. The drawer really opens.
So I see.
Don't you want it?
You do, don't you, Mother? You've always wanted one.
I've seen that before, upstairs.
Yes, very nice, thank you. Now, can we have our roof back on, please?
What about this? Try it.
Go on.
Oh, yes. Could have been made for me.
You could have it by the fire. Look lovely on the new blotting paper.
Let's see.
Steady on.
There. What you keep in this? Coal. Sorry.
Now what you've done. Coal everywhere.
I'll do that. You'll make more of a mess than there is already. Over my new carpet.
Are those your books?
Yes. A dictionary. Plays of Shakespeare, the history of Tom Thumb, and my diary.
Will you come see me again?
Of course I will.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what your daughter said?
Would you like to see the storeroom?
No, he wouldn't. Now, would you put the roof back again? There's a good boy. We're getting cold down here.
Sorry. Shall I nail you down?
Yes, please.
Still got some more things upstairs.
Well, that's very kind of you, but...
Things,
we
what
d-
sort of things?
What sort of things?
All kinds of stuff.
Ask him what sort of stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Carpets, and rugs, and cooking pans.
Carpet. Real carpet. Ask him how much he's got.
Why don't you ask him yourself?
And a bird in a cage. Not a real one, of course. And tables, and 5 gold chairs. A sideboard and a potted palm. All kinds of things. I found them in a shoebox in the old toy cupboard.
Oh, God, just think of it. Real cooking pans. A dining room suite.
Well, maybe we could find a use for some of your stuff.
I'll bring it tomorrow.
Yes, well, perhaps you could nail us down lightly, if you get my meaning. Just a tap or two here and there.
Right. Could you come tomorrow afternoon?
All right. Oh, bring a book.
What do you want to read?
Anything.
I'll wait under the old oak.
Well, there's a thing.
Who'd have thought it? Saucepans.
A sideboard, he said.
A potted palm.
A bird in a cage.
A bird in a cage? Where are we going to put all this stuff?
In the drawing room.
We haven't got a drawing room.
No. Not yet, we haven't.
Any knives need sharpening, missus? The keenest edge in the cabinet.
No, thank you very much.
Any pots need patching? Chimneys need sweeping?
No, none. Good day. He's a bad lot, that Maldai.
Always was. You can't trust him.
Mrs. Driver, I just saw that man.
How many times have I told you to wipe your feet before coming into my kitchen? No buts. Do it at once.
Mrs. Driver,
I want an apology this instant.
I'm sorry.
And speak when you're spoken to.
Please.
Do you want to be locked up in your room again?
No.
Then be off with you.
The British Empire covers 13,355,000 square miles. Its population is about 475 million people.
I did say there were lots of us, didn't I?
475 million human beings. And how many borrowers?
It doesn't say.
Probably too many to count.
Probably.
Do you think the palm looks better here or back where it was?
Don't see as how it makes much difference.
Well, of course it does. Here it gets the light from the door. Back where it was, it hides the pipes. Pod?
What?
Well, advise me.
Oh, where it was.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Well, I don't. I think it's better here.
Do we need all this stuff?
For years I've had to make do. ever since we had that flood. And now, for the first time, I've got nice things I can be proud of.
Needs to dust more like. I won't be able to move soon. Look at all these chairs.
Yes. Aren't they lovely?
Oh, mate, there are 5 of them, and only 3 of us. Who's going to sit in them?
Well, someone might.
Who? When?
I'm keeping them, Pod. Where are you going?
Borrowing.
But we don't need anything at the moment. Anyway, George will get it for us.
George?
That's what he's called, George.
Homily.
Come and sit down in your nice new comfy chair and have a little rest. Let George do the borrowing. And then when you've had a little rest, you can help me with the piano.
What piano?
The one George might be bringing.
Who's going to play a piano?
It's not for playing. It's for putting things on. Arietti ought to write another letter to the Hendrearys. Tell them all about my nice new things.
More like a list than a letter.
Oh, if only there was someone we could ask for tea.
When bending my eyes downward as much as I could, I perceived it to be a human creature not 6 inches high, with a bow and arrow in his hands and a quiver at his back.
Do you think he was a borrower?
Could have been. In the meantime, I felt 40 more of the same kind, as I conjectured following the first.
What does conjectured mean?
I think it's something to do with juggling.
Can't be juggling. Never mind. Carry on.
Right. Following the first, I was in the utmost astonishment.
I bet he was.
And roared so loud that they all ran back in a fright. I bet they did.
You're not frightened of me, though, are you?
No.
I'll have a surprise for you tonight.
What sort of a surprise?
A present.
Have you been in the drawing room?
No, I haven't. I never do.
Well, someone has. And stolen some of the ornaments.
Gracious of thee. Now, that's a bit funny, that is, because I can't find my boots, neither.
The silver violin and golden shoe have gone for a start.
I made sure I'd left them by the door. And we've had no strangers around, except...
That tinker.
Could be, couldn't it? Except he didn't come inside, did he?
Or is it her?
Mistress? What would she want with my boots? Anyhow, she's in bed.
But who's to say she stays there? Who's to say she doesn't come sneaking down in the night, moving things, perhaps even taking them? And then Mr. Crampfurl, sniggering quietly to herself before creeping back upstairs and hiding them in her bed.
Why would she do that?
To spite me. Just so she can ask innocently, is everything all right downstairs? Oh, she's artful.
Sounds strange to me, taking your own things.
Oh, she'd do it. She's a sly one.
It could be the boy.
No, he wouldn't do it.
There's no telling with boys.
That's right. I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Crampfurl. Whoever it is, they'll be very, very sorry by the time I've finished with them.
George.
I've got the surprise. Wait a second.
It's for me. Look.
Just a minute. Where did you get that?
From the drawing room.
Yes. From the glass cabinet near the settee. Second shelf, next to the golden shoe.
The key was in the lock. All I had to do was turn it.
Well, you can just turn it again, my lad, and take these things back.
Pod!
Why?
I've got one of my feelings all over.
But they're presents.
Presents be blowed. They'll be missed. And you don't take things that'll be missed. It's a golden rule that must not be broken. George? George? George?
It's the anomaly in the passageway!
What's going on? What are you doing on the table?
A nest! Down there! Oh!
Nest? What of mice, rats?
Like mice dressed up, like little people, faces, hands. There! Oh.
There ain't nothing down there. Not alive, there ain't.
Oh, but I saw them. Hundreds of them.
Couldn't have. Just dolls' furniture, that's all. It's just some game the boy's been playing. It'll all seem different in the daylight. Nighttime plays funny tricks, but with a light and all. Off you go.
They were there.
Fix this bolt in the morning.
They've gone.
Where's George?
What are we going to do?
We've no choice now.
Emigrate.
Don't worry. It's me. Are you all right?
Do we look all right?
I'll put you in the attic.
That's no good. There's no water, no food. She'll turn the house upside down. Attic and all. She'll bring in cats by the sackful and rat catchers and dogs, all kinds of things. There'll be nowhere safe. There's nothing for it. We have to go.
My home. My poor home.
George could take us to the hen breweries.
I don't want to live in a badger set.
Well, there's one thing for certain. We can't live here, can we?
I'll take you there tomorrow. In the peg bag.
I can't get into a peg.
I knew it! You won't get away!
Leave him alone.
You sneaky little dribbit. You're in league with them, aren't you? Well, you know what they do to thieves, don't you? They lock them up.
I'm not a thief. I'm a borrower.
A borrower?
It's not fair. Why can't you just leave him alone?
Stop that noise, you said. You stop it. Get the rat catcher. That's what I'll do. He'll deal with them. I'll get another cat. And the sanitary inspector, and the fire brigade, and the police. Once a nest is found, the rest is easy.
Well, we've got to get out of here somehow.
We could get out under the clock.
But then where? Back door will be shut just like the front is. No, we're trapped in this house, and there's no way out. At the moment.
What do you mean?
I mean, we've got to be ready for a door to be opened.
Pod.
Well, we'll never get across the kitchen, because that's where they'll be with their dogs and things. The front door's our best bet.
And we could watch it from under the clock.
That's right. And the moment the door's opened,
We run for it.
I can't. I'm no good at running. I haven't got the puff.
you will have when the time comes.
How do we find Loopy and Hendrieri? How do we find out where they live? How are we going to live?
We're not going unprepared, Homily. We've got to get things together. Useful stuff like tools and cooking pots and food and warm clothes and things and put them in the borrowers' bags. Oh. Come on, let's get started. Shh. All clear. Right, now spread out. Remember, essentials only.
I found the borrowing bags.
Good girl.
My teapot. Where's the spout?
It's here.
You got it ready?
I can't find any cooking pans.
I think that's all that's worth taking from here.
Matches?
Oh, there's a few in the storeroom. Come on. That's right, plenty of those. Hey, Etty, hurry up!
I won't be a moment.
You can't take that.
But it's my diary.
It's no use, is it? It's too big. We'll be running for our lives.
I can't leave it, please.
I'm sorry, but you'll need to help your mother.
If only we could squeeze through the grating.
Front door's our only way.
Why don't we ask George to open it?
No. Boy got us into all this trouble in the first place.
But if I asked him...
I said no. We're on our own. And that's the way it should be. And there's no way we're going anywhere except the clock, right? Come on. Arrietty, I said, come on. Take that, Arrietty. Look up your mother. Give me a hand.
Is that all right? Oh!
All right?
Yes, all right. I don't know how you can work up here, Pod. I really don't. With that great thing going backwards and forwards, up there making all that noise.
You get used to it.
Well, I couldn't. I'll never sleep.
Well, you just have to try. We'll have to block that up if they get a ferret.
A ferret?
Yes, be along this passage and up here before you can blink. I'm not saying they will mind, but has to be thought about.
Well, you think about it, Pod. Because I don't want to.
Like that. Sorry. There. Try and get some sleep.
Sleep. Sleep. We'll all be stone deaf in the morning.